Good day, everyone. Hope you're all doing really well. Isn't this just a beautiful sight in front of you? Well, this is the Fontaine Teapot, and I want to answer the question of what is beyond that sky where you just saw the sun, because that is something that's just been fascinating me all the while. And obviously, a related question would be what is at the bottom of the Fontaine Teapot, because normally you can't access these areas. And another question, as we're now in all of these seas that I want to try and answer, is what is beyond Remuria or the Sea of Bygone Eras like map? What is beyond those playable bounds? Normally you have a little cute Paimon here stopping you, so those are the questions we're going to answer in today's video. So I'm going to split this video into two parts, the first being exploring Fontaine's Teapot, and let's get into that. So using a certain glitch, we can get Kokomi up to a couple of different heights. The first height that I want to show you is quite interesting. So if you've immediately paid attention to what you're seeing, you might have noticed that, the sun has completely disappeared. So what's up with that? Well, you'll see in just a moment as Kokomi starts falling that the sun and the entire glossy surface is going to reappear. So effectively what you have is you've got this sphere extending across the entirety of the teapot. You can kind of see the illusion there as we're this high up, and that gives you the first layer towards this illusion of the skybox. Now the second layer will be visible in just a bit, but if we go very, very high up in the sky, we almost get to the space-like region with the very odd, weird sun and moon up there. But more importantly, what you can find in this dark overworld is something that's approaching us from the horizon. And if you're just going to be patient in just a bit, look at that. The entire map is then going to be covered by this sphere. So what this tells you is that the entire teapot actually consists of two special spheres. So if we take it back to the top again, what you'll notice is that we are in this outer space-like region. So that's the normal part of the map and the skybox. And then we've got two spheres, the one covering the entire teapot, and then another glossy one giving us the illusion that there is a bit of a sun. Oh, and by the way, the max height that I reached here with Kokomi is the max height that you can reach if you jump from the top library down onto Enconomia. Just a little bit of a wink wink nudge nudge there. In any case, as Kokomi falls here, you can see that we've had the first layer and now the second layer is just gonna pop in. Just showing you and confirming it. Okay, so now let's go to the bottom of the teapot. Usually Paimon would also stop you if you try to get to the bottom, but in this case it doesn't really matter that much because the teapot itself has actually got like a huge block of water, and then obviously if you're in the teapot's normal area you can swim around if you decide to go a bit out of bounds, but if you go really far out of bounds to like the bottom here, you can actually fall through, and then it's just a normal playable landscape with literally nothing in it. So as you can see here, I'm just going to give you a bit of an idea of what happens. Yes, you can fall through the map, and there is actually no limit if you use this glitch as to how far you can fall down below the map. So if you've ever seen a Musashi video where the characters start deforming once you fall a certain height, I mean that actually does happen here as well, but I mean that's not really interesting. As for the rest of the teapot's underwater section, yeah, it is about as barren as this, and just different landscapes, so I don't think there's much more to say about that. So let's move on to the Sea of Bygone Eras. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is just show you what happens when you go out of bounds. Well, basically, Paimon's going to stop you because the glitch doesn't work in the exact same way, but more importantly, you can see that this is just a massive landscape, and it's just in a normal playable map. That's pretty much it, and once you get to the surface, it's just like the Fontaine water. So there's nothing remarkable, there's no two like spheres covering it, so it's just basically it. And you might say, well, okay, that's that all you're going to show us with DC of Bygone Eras? Well, no, not at all. If you go out of bounds, let's say using a Traveler or Zhongli glitch, you can actually find a very large playable area under the map, which is kind of fascinating. And you can swim through it for quite a bit of a distance. And I think a lot of people haven't seen this, so hopefully this is kind of a bit of a unique footage. But if you swim down from basically where that strong bishop is, or like under the palace type of area, you're going to get to another special type of area. So you can see there we're under the map, and as we fall, we're now going to get to King Remuria's palace, if you remember the story. And look at that, it's such a cool skybox effect, and it definitely gives you kind of a very interesting vibe. I think, honestly, personally, this is a very beautiful type of area. And you'll see now as Kokomi starts falling, the area where you confront, I think, Remuria at the end of the quest. Oh, oops, hashtag spoilers. Basically, yeah, it's just going to pop in and out as we get within like rendering distance and whatever. But this area for me is just absolutely gorgeous, and it's such a shame that a lot of Genshin players and people that will max a lot of regions don't know about the Sea of Bygone Eras, because it's not obvious how you get here. I mean, it's some random quest, and then you go underwater, and then you have to do another world quest, and I think a lot of people skip it, and they don't know that there is this huge underwater playable area that we actually got in 4.6. So if everything that you're seeing in the background is really weird to you, do go and play the quest, because it's really awesome. In any case, what is awesome for me as well is that this area with the sea-like effect, which unfortunately is not a sea, we can't stand on it, you'll just fall through, but this area has such a surreal vibe, and I think if I ever have to quit YouTube, this will probably be the last image that you'll see, because it's just so cool, it's just so beautiful, especially if you mix it here with Kokomi. I'll give you a bit of a different view here as well. But yeah, guys, that is mostly it for this video. We went to the teapot and we went out of bounds here in Remuria. As for the glitch, it's the fixed teleport glitch that I've shown in the Foslaws vid, so do look at that. And then obviously a couple of other things, glitches also to break through that Paimon barrier. Most notably in the teapot, it has to be empty, but no more hints from me on that front. Alright, thank you so much for watching and keep well. Cheers.